Hello, citizens of YouTube land.
Hey.
It's your president and your VP back once again with another episode review of Walker, the new series. This time it's episode 5 of season 1.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I enjoyed this episode. You know, we're doing a more lighthearted video, guys.
Yeah, this one, the show just seems to be getting better and better. We said that last week during episode 4 that it was really starting to pick up pace. And this episode deals with the fallout of last week's episode.
As it ended with a cliffhanger on that episode where where Walker, my mistake, sorry, where Walker looks at his phone and you can just see like pure terror come on his face, and apparently Twyla, one of the bank robbers from the past, oh hey, drug dealing bank robbers probably.
No. Not drug dealing bank robbers. That would be the original show. This one is not drug dealing, excuse me, bank robbing rodeo cowboys.
Oh man, I was hoping that they brought back drug dealing bank robbers.
Well, they might in the future. So he begins the episode and he has to meet Twyla from last episode. And she explains that she needs to get out of town and that she needs the $300,000 that had mysteriously vanished. And the last time they saw it was with this other woman and Walker, who was masquerading as Duke Culpepper.
Yeah, it was Crystal and Duke.
Yeah. And the episode is interspersed with flashbacks to 4 months earlier when he was part of the undercover operation to take these, I'll say it again, bank robbing rodeo cowboys down. Now that in itself is a little bit of a crazy concept, but in the Walker universe, whether it's the original show or it's going to be this one, those kind of things are going to work.
Yeah, like in the original show, I could see them being drug dealing, bank robbing rodeo cowboys.
Well, they did do an episode in the original series about bank robbing clowns. Remember that one? The gang of bank robbing clowns
and the Santa clown and the Santas. And the bank robbing Santas. That's gonna be a good one when we get to that one.
Yeah.
In the next Walker Texas Rangeraury.
Yeah. Well, to continue the plot here, guys, he meets up with her, and meanwhile, like Austin PD and the Texas Rangers unit are wanting to put Walker on task because they believe at first that he might be dirty. Now, of course, his prosecutor brother knows better and had actually put him in a situation where towards the climax of the undercover operation, they're involved in a shootout at the bank, and that's what had led to the mysterious disappearance of the $300,000.
Yeah.
Because his prosecutor brother had told him, Walker had told him, hey, we got to nail him now. And he said, no, we got to have him in the bank. And that had led to some deaths. And his brother partially feels responsible, but it's actually all on Clint. And so, meanwhile, we're still dealing with the fallout of August getting involved. And I just got to say something right away. I kind of have a problem with that because when you're a police officer or you're a Texas Ranger or a state trooper or whatever it may be, if you're a law enforcement officer, sometimes there are things that you cannot discuss with your family. No matter how much you might want to, sometimes you can't do that.
Yeah.
And him having grown up in a law enforcement family would know this.
Yeah,
but he is acting like a typical depressed type of teenager. He almost strikes me as an emo.
How dare you?
I said almost. I didn't say he was, But the perception that I'm getting is that he kind of is.
You know what? If he starts dressing up in some like black clothing and like dyes his hair some weird color, I could see him as an emo.
Easily. We also have a little bit of a scenario where Mickey, who is Walker's partner, her boyfriend / fiance, I think.
I think it's just her boyfriend.
It might be. It might be. Well, he wants her to meet his mom, and she kind of has a little bit of problem with it. And at the same time, he helps Stella, who's Walker's daughter, of course, overcome a little bit because she feels that if she was doing soccer, that Walker would be around more. But these kids, they're not quite understanding that job is very demanding. And oftentimes, it's unfortunate, but oftentimes law enforcement can take precedent over your own personal, private life.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Mickey is in on the situation with the Texas Rangers and the Austin PD. So she wears a wire, and they set Twyla and the other guy up, and it all leads to a big showdown where they're able to quote unquote kill Duke Culpepper off because Walker is wearing like a bulletproof vest, and this is after he reveals that the $300,000 was actually in a jukebox because they'll always have one last dance, and so he put 2 and 2 together so they wouldn't have to go and possibly rob a bank.
Yeah.
And it led to a scuffle, and then Duke Culpepper is shot and killed.
Quote unquote. And
then he basically kills him off for good when he reveals that, Duke Culpepper pretended because that's what Duke Culpepper was. He pretended to be in love. He pretended to be happy. He pretended to be, whole, actually. Because a lot of people sometimes can have things that are missing in their life. And they don't quite know how to piece it together. And here, the actual Walker, I think, is also not quite whole. And won't be until the situation with Emily's death is resolved.
Yeah.
And we did have a snippet of them showing that there's more to the death than what previously meets the eye. So that's kind of how everything all wraps up, and we'll just have to wait till the next one to see where it goes from there.
Oh yeah, and August kind of decided that he was going to follow his dad into an undercover operation where he could have possibly blown his cover.
Yeah, that happens too. And listen, I had a real problem with that too, because August could have gotten Cordell killed, he could have gotten Mickey killed, he could have gotten the girl that drove him killed, he could have gotten himself killed.
Yeah, because we already know that these bank robbing rodeo cowboys have like an entire like storage of guns.
It's a freaking armory is what it is.
Yeah.
So other than that though, like we said, it all wraps up pretty nicely. The episode is well acted. Yeah. And the musical cues are really good too.
And the ending was very lighthearted.
Yeah, it was
with Walker and his children basically cremating Duke
and having a bonding moment over it. So my final rating for this one is 4.5 out of 5. What say you?
Also 4.5 out of 5 because freaking August did that stupid move.
Yeah, I get that it fits the story, but it was a little bit unnecessary, and that's also why I give it a 4.5 out of 5. So
it's very rare. We're in agreement here, guys.
Another one where we're in agreement here. Okay, but of course, as always, if you think that this episode was the worst one yet, and you don't know why people are watching it and why you keep watching it, well, that's just your opinion.
That's how I feel about Riverdale every single day.
You're probably just rage watching.
I am. I can't wait for season 5
and that's
to come
your
out
opinion,
on Netflix.
and that's okay. You are wrong, but that's okay. Because just remember, we're just two idiots with a cell phone camera. Our opinions do not matter, except they actually do, because we have a YouTube show, except they actually don't. So, having said that, we'll see you guys for the next video that we put out, which will probably be back to Lifetime. And we'll see you guys next time. And always remember, peace and love from Denny and Son. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.